and welcome to IGTV. I'm Angeline Ong, and this is your look ahead to the week starting the 12th of February. Now, it's shaping up to be a really busy week. Let's take you through the economic calendar because we have Germany, the US, and the UK particularly out with quite a few economic data points. Let's start off with Australia and the UK first. We've got consumer confidence numbers there. The jobless rate will be in focus in the UK, and from Germany, ZEW, and not forgetting the consumer price index from the US as well. That will be pounced on, given that all the data we've had out of the US so far has been hot, hot, hot. Consumer price numbers and the retail price index also in focus on Wednesday from the UK, and industrial production figures from the Eurozone will be keenly watched, given we've seen the euro dollar come to a pivot point in the last week. EIA crude oil inventory is still in focus given the Middle East geopolitical tensions, which still remains in play because the last I heard, we have not got a ceasefire yet deal on the table. Japan fourth quarter GDP growth rate will be early in this session on Thursday, along with the unemployment rate out of Australia. From the UK and the US, the consumer remains the focus with GDP numbers out of the UK. This is the growth rate, and it's a prelim number, along with retail sales and initial jobless claims out of the US. And last but not least, on Friday, look out for the Michigan consumer sentiment data out of the US, along with many others, and also retail sales from the UK. Now, this would be a key figure, especially after things have calmed down a bit now after the holiday season. Well, joining us live now from Chicago is Tom Sosnoff, our very own Tom Sosnoff from Tasty Live, part of IG Group. Tom, it's such an incredible time for the markets. I mean, we're seeing all these all-time highs, especially in the US, and this is even without a Fed rate cut yet.
It's kind of amazing. I mean, who would have thunk it? The US markets have been almost unstoppable. And listen, I mean, Angeline, I think they're frothy. There's no question. There's a concentration of, 10, 15, 20 tech stocks, chip stocks, AI stocks that have carried this market. And no doubt they're frothy, but the big question is, when does the steam run out? When does when do they roll over? And nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. The momentum is still there.
The momentum is confounding everyone because in the last few weeks, we've had mixed results linked to AI. I think it was Microsoft, which the shares actually fell because they looked at the costs of AI rather than, the future revenues. What's it gonna take? I guess that's what is it going to take, Tom, for this rally to sort of see a form of sustained fatigue? Really, a correction perhaps might be healthy.
We've been basically dumping liquidity for 15 years, and there's a lot of reasons why this market. And forget about the fundamental reasons. Let's just call it kind of just a bigger picture, kind of a macro picture. We've been pumping liquidity in for almost 15 years. And as such, you have a combination right now in the AI space of the perfect storm. You have a couple of shorts the few shorts that are left are capitulating. You have a lot of free cash just out there, just floating around. And you've got a rotation of money managers and institutional investors that are playing catch up in the AI space. Now, usually it's a red flag on many levels, and it's toppy in a sense. But it can stay like that for 2, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, or it can roll over tomorrow. I don't think there's going to be a specific event. I just think they're going to run out of buyers.
Thanks very much, Tom Sosnoff there from Tasty Live. Now, further on in the week, we've also got a huge amount of earnings. Really, pretty much the big ticket ones have already reported, but these are big names as well in their own sectors. Chewy, of course, the world's biggest travel company, at least in Europe, it's one of the biggest. Coca-Cola out with fourth quarter earnings after PepsiCo showing a surprise weakness in sales, showing perhaps cracks in the consumer. They have both of them, Coca-Cola and PepsiCo, managed to push through price rises without much problem at all in the last few months. However, cracks are beginning to show, at least for PepsiCo, and we'll see what Coca-Cola says about its outlook. Airbnb also out with earnings along with Lyft, Robinhood Markets, and AIG. A little later on in the week, it's all about Cisco and ThyssenKrupp also out with first quarter earnings, Zanel, Kraft, Heinz too. And then midweek, we get Airbus. Thursday, Airbus is out with full year earnings. Commerzbank, as you know, the European banks have been reporting already. Commerzbank enters the fray. Renault out with earnings as well. Stellantis, the auto theme there. Coinbase Global out with fourth quarter earnings. And on Friday, many of our clients like trading NatWest, so look out for that one, full year earnings. And Swiss Re also out with full year numbers. And that's your look at the week ahead with IGTV. And whatever you're doing this weekend, I hope it's profitable. This is IGTV.